this video is for you if you want to learn how to set up a company inside Kitts and Nevis. Hi, my name is Rusudan. I'm a CFO at Nomad Capitalist, where we help high net worth individuals to legally reduce their taxes, get second citizenship, and go where you're treated best. First question is, why would you choose to set up a company inside Kitts and Nevis? I think that it's a very interesting location because the first thing is that it has a very picturesque landscapes and it's a very beautiful country. It also has warm weather, so I think that for me personally, it's one of the would be one of the deciding factors. So I would definitely advise that. Other than that, from a more legalistic point of view, it's a Commonwealth country, so the English is widely spoken. It's an English-speaking country, so the communication there is very easy, especially if you're coming from outside of the country. Everything is set up in a way that technically you can remotely open the company. But we will talk about some specific nuances there, which, as so happens with most of the cases, are here as well and don't always make things easy. I think that initially hearing that you can set up something remotely gives you the expectation that it's very smooth. You just send the documents and get everything done, but that's not the case in this situation because you're remotely doing that. You need to be precise, and that doesn't always happen in the first try. So more on that a bit later. Right now, let's also talk about, in addition to the above mentioned reasons, I would also add that the legal framework is very favorable in Kitts and Nevis for investors and entrepreneurs. You can choose from like partnership or corporation, LLC, as a legal form for your company. I would say that personally, I think that limited liability company is the one that our clients most commonly choose, and this is the one that provides the highest high possibility of for your protection, be that your asset protection or your like personal protection, because limited liability company has a separate obligation, and anything that's happening in the company will not have any effect on you as a person or on your assets held as a person. So I think that that's a very good safeguard that we encourage our clients to use all the time. So if you have decided on what's the legal structure of the company that you want to use, you also have to think about what's the structure in overall for yourself. Like, are you going to be the shareholder there? Do you want to have another company being a shareholder? So those are the decisions that you need to make. Once you've done your research and decided on those factors, then you have to start preparing the documents. The first thing that you need to do is choose the name and decide who are going to be the directors or the one director, because you can have only one director inside Kitts and Nevis, or who is going to be the shareholder. The document for the shareholder or director or any person that's going to be governing the company are the same. So you need a passport, it needs to be valid. You need also proof of address, that's a utility bill or bank statement or the driver's license in some countries. So any document, any government issued document that has your address on that can be okay and acceptable. If some countries don't provide the address information on those documents, then you can get the utility bill or the bank statement. Once you have the documents, you need to create the articles of association or a memorandum. So that's a very specific document that lists it's like a Bible for the company. So it shows who are the shareholders, what's the activities of the business, and you have to be very precise in the activities, because that is something that will be separately asked in form for the incorporation as well. So what's the purpose of your company? What are you going to be doing for that with the company? If you have like more than one purpose or business line, you have to indicate all to make sure that you are transparent with the information. Once you have that, you also have to think about what's your capital structure is going to be like. Is there going to be only one shareholder, maybe more? How many shares are there? There is no minimum share capital requirement in Kitts and Nevis, but it is very important to indicate the exact structure that you are going to maintain. And if there are any changes, you also have to provide the information on the changes and update the articles of association to reflect the same. same. Once you have decided on this and created the document, one additional document that you need is the resolution, where it states that you need to incorporate the company in St. Kitts and Nevis. So there are like paperwork is going to be, brace yourself, it's going to be a lot. All the documents that you are going to prepare needs to be in English, of course. If anything that you have is originally in any other language, you have to translate it. And as part of the incorporation process, you need to have a registered agent or corporate secretary. So this is a service that lots of local legal firms provide, where they set up the company on your behalf, sometimes even provide a nominee director if you do not wish to be a director there yourself, and so they can handle certain formalities on your behalf. And I think that helps a lot, especially when it's the first time that you're doing that, because as I said, there are lots of nuances, especially in the KYC forms that you have to apply, and also anything related to taxes that are very specific, and you need to be precisely aware of what kind of tax obligations you have, etc. The fees are government regulated, so you have an incorporation fee that you have to pay in advance. You also while you're incorporating the company. In general, it takes around 2 weeks to set up the company. Then additional time is required to set up the bank account for the company, and depending on where you want to bank, this also, of course, varies. There are certain documents that you need to have apostilled. So to summarize, the documents that you need for incorporating a St. Kitts and Nevis company are as follows. So your passport, your proof of address, or like all the details about the director and the shareholder. That's like the full name, address, ID, tax residence. Of course, you have to indicate where the physical person is paying the taxes, and birth date, etc., or the ordinary information. In addition to that, you need a memorandum of articles of association, also a resolution stating the desire to open the company in St. Kitts and Nevis. In addition to that, you need to clearly state the purpose of the business of the company and what are the activities there, and you have to explain the source of funds and all the how the company is going to be operating in the future. One important nuance about St. Kitts and Nevis is that sometimes it's used for it's a good way to for asset protection. If you have a St. Kitts and Nevis trust, the setup is pretty much similar, but the legal structure of the trust is understandably different. So I think that there's a very good choice where you can incorporate St. Kitts and Nevis trust or LLC even in your legal structure, overall like international legal structure, because even with LLCs, as we said before, it provides a very good asset protection opportunity, and it protects you personally and your assets very well. So I think that it is a very good option to choose from, but there are some certain challenges, and I would say that we've had cases where the simple incorporation of the company took more than just the timeline that the government provides, because it's important to have all the documents filled in correctly, and in most cases even with just one checkbox that's checked incorrectly means that you have to redo the whole document. So it's very important to get a professional advice on that. So if you're interested in setting up a St. Kitts and Nevis company, visit nomadcapitalist.com. If you found this video interesting, make sure to like it and subscribe to our channel. Any questions you can leave in the comments.